You know I had to come back. Couldn't let the bandwagon boys have 2 for 2.
Ooh, we were hoping.
Welcome to Sunday Service.
There it is.
3 friends are gonna talk. Maybe they gonna yap about them boys. We don't have any drinks. I'll go get some drinks in a minute.
Just grab me bubblies. I'm on bubblies.
You're gonna have 1 drip.
No, I'm on the bubblies.
You have to have 1 drip.
Just grab me 2 bubblies. I'm on the bubblies, boys. Sunday service bubblies. Guys, I'm back. I am back. But I will, before we get into anything while Ad's going upstairs, I will say you guys held it down quite nicely on Wednesday night. And I really liked your guys' draft, even though you drafted a full team.
I know. It was, here, I'm going to try to have my hand at this switch. And there we go.
See if you can do it.
And it's going to look awkward because I'm leaning over like this. No, it was fun. I didn't even, realize we drafted the 3 Ohio State guys.
That was so funny.
I'm so thankful Big Chris wasn't watching.
You would have lost a subscriber in Big Fella. He would have left as soon as he seen you guys take back-to-back-to-back Buckeyes.
Yeah.
But they were good picks.
Look, we also did back-to-back linebackers. We did back-to-back halfbacks.
I liked it.
At the end of the day, let me get this wide.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Did you grab 2? Yeah, thank you.
Apple bubbly.
All apple bubblies. At the end of the day, we just kind of drafted with our heart.
I liked it. And
It's the trade. Honestly, that first round trade back is a pivotal move to get
I think it is, man.
that second. Now, it really all depends on what you get offered, obviously.
And what's on the board.
And what's on
there's
the
certain
board. Yes.
people on the board that you're not going to trade back. But I think
Exactly.
the guys you had on the board was a perfect time to trade back.
Yep.
I really do. And it was enjoyable to watch. It was funny because when you guys were drafting and you had drafted the Buckeye, I'm like, oh, they're going Buckeyes. And I'm like, when are they going to notice that they've only picked the Ohio State Buckeyes? And then when you guys both saw it, it was pretty good. But yeah, you guys held it down. But I'm back for this Sunday service. I will be back in studio on Wednesday. The kid is back. So, well, kid, very loosely termed kid.
Yeah, we can call you the kid. Hey, hit me up. Where's my camera shot? Crack them if you got them. Oh, shit. I forgot. I love that we're wearing the same hoodies.
Crack 'em if you got them.
Crack them if you got them. But I did wear something special for our boys 1 star.
Okay.
1 star, 1 family. Shout out. Holding it down on the West Coast. He's got the okay.
To rep.
There he is. He's repping. I like it.
Rep 1 star.
1 star, 1 fam.
Well, we're rolling, guys. And I know can I just
you talk for a couple minutes here. I fixed the chat on the last stream,
And now it's fucked again.
but on this version on our Sunday service, I haven't fixed it yet. So you guys just talk like a bunch of
big
boys.
Cowboys news. Well, it's not even really Cowboys news, but he played for the Cowboys for the last few years. Cooper Rush, multi-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens, so he will not be coming back. So that automatically puts quarterback on the radar now.
Yeah, and realistically, the fact that the Cowboys didn't make a move at him at the time where they were doing those re-signings with the other bringbacks, if you will, which are all good staples. Look, Trent Sieg, we laugh about it, but hey, man, he's obviously that consistent long slapper, and he does have a long slapper.
He's the biggest long slapper in the Cowboys change room.
But I think just for Cooper Rush, it kind of sucks because he has performed relatively well for when he's called in, especially when he played that 6 or 7 game stint a few years back. Last year, nothing really terribly exciting, but he was adequate enough. I think the Cowboys as a whole were just a lesser than team than when he had his good run. But bring in someone else. It's time for him to move on to.
It's time to draft a quarterback.
Time to draft.
Build them behind Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So which we've kind of been doing in all of our drafts. We've been drafting quarterbacks in the later rounds. Like I think we've drafted Brady Cook. We've drafted. Who else have we drafted? Give me a couple names. Rourke. You guys drafted in the last one.
Rourke. We honestly.
Slough. We have drafted. We've also taken McCord. So we've taken a bunch of quarterbacks that are going to be around at some point. There's Quinn Ewers out there. I mean, the top echelon, we're going to say the top echelon of guys are the Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders, and then like Jackson Dart, I'd say are the fringe guys. But if I'm the Cowboys, I'm taking a quarterback in the later rounds to start trying to build up behind Dak Prescott.
Exactly. I think we've talked about it before, but just over these throughout this Dak contract year, I'd love for the Cowboys to sign draft 2 quarterbacks and test them out.
Like you mean over the next 4 years?
Over his next 4 year, maybe it's back to back.
Yep.
And then you see who rises to the top. But we're obviously not going to be in a position to be putting, a first or second or third round probably for a quarterback. But if you can find one of these guys in the later rounds, my mind always goes to Brady Cook just based off of his combine, who have really good athleticism and could use that learning for a couple years. I think that's who you got to go for.
And that's kind of
Hope for one of them works out.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were going to do with Dak Prescott.
Right.
The Cowboys drafted Dak Prescott in the 4th round to be that guy that learned behind Tony Romo. And he wasn't even, when they drafted Dak wasn't even coming in there to be the 2nd string. He was coming in to be 3rd string behind Kellen Moore. So they were still, there we go, crack him if you got him.
Got chat back up and
you
running.
got chat going well. And with that, shout out to chat. The People's Champ was always out there trying to get you guys engaged. So shout out to chat. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday service. And guys, we are just into draft season, and what we do with the draft now makes the offseason not as bad.
No, it's
it's actually kind of exciting diving into the players. And I think college football, I hate to say it, but I think that helps.
Yes. Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
Looking at it, we'll probably look at the start of this upcoming college football season and pinpoint a couple of weekends where we're like, okay, let's do those 3 games.
Yeah.
And let's live stream
Like
those
on a
3 games.
Saturday or something.
Yeah, college game day. I mean, not it all depends on what games they are, but
well, you're a what are you?
Michigan Wolverines.
A Michigan Wolverine. Ant, are you a Notre Dame Belle?
Fighting Irish, baby.
Are you fighting Irish?
The day before St. Patty's Day.
I'm still not sure. I do like Notre Dame, but I think it would be a lot of fun if we each had a different team. So I can't commit yet.
I thought you were going to be the Nittany Lions.
I just don't love Penn State.
You know what?
I just liked them because that was the first team I played on
Well,
CFP.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing with us, because we are free.
Maybe it would be.
Because you're a free agent, and what we probably should have done. I like to attach myself to somebody else's story, so I attach myself to Big Fellas when we walked in, and he was half Cowboys and half Michigan Wolverines. I was like, okay, I have to. I'm a Wolverine guy. I'm committed. I signed
but it's
my letter.
Also it's a good program, so it's not
program.
like you're.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is what you would be
storied program.
What you could do is you could look at all of the teams and see who has the most potential for the next 3 years, and then commit yourself to that type of.
Well, that's what I'm kind of worried with the Notre Dame. Like they were in the Natty this year, but I'm worried that they're going to have a fall off. But once I've committed to something, I'm going to be watching every single Notre Dame game next year.
Yeah,
so.
I'm a Michigan boy.
Though both of those teams are going to, sure, they might have an off year, 1 or 2 years, but they're consistently bringing in new prospects. So that's that rotation, right?
And it does help that we're deep into CFB now. So when the CFB 2026 comes out, we're getting it. We're going to rip through it.
I'm going to probably go to a team that has a quarterback who's going to be there for at least 2 years.
Yep.
Smart.
I'm heavily leaning towards Arch Manning, but
he's gone next.
He'll be
next
gone.
year's his last year,
right? So this is what,
and that's what I wanted. To Texas, I was like, I like the Longhorns. They're good, and then I was like, I can't go Cowboys and Longhorns.
It's too much.
What do we got to get you?
Too much.
I couldn't go double Texas.
What do we got to do to recruit you over the Michigan Wolverines?
I could be. I got to go look at what the squad is and what's coming up.
We'll talk off cam.
There's just too much. I'd also love to go for like a Bearcats or something like that, and just like just
something like
mid-level school, but that has some quality players come out of it.
Western Washington.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me hit some chat comments here for you boys, because chat's in. So Jenkins Gaming's been very active in the chat. So what up, Jenkins? He says Will Greer's QB2 because that's when you were talking about.
It's true.
What's his name?
Which is scary, kind of.
He says a few years ago, people forgot Will Greer was going to beat Rush out if he didn't get hurt as QB2.
Okay.
And then Jenkins Gaming says, you need to watch Penn State whiteout games. Oh, boy. We saw one of the Penn State whiteout games. We didn't go to it, but we saw it on TV.
And they got
Kilo C's in the house.
What's up, Kilo?
And then Hoodie Kush 81 says, please, gentlemen, tell me you're not going to be negative about any moves we made.
I think we're all kind of on the same page that I've liked what the Cowboys have done more than what they haven't done. Like last year, it was so easy to be negative because they did fuck all.
Yeah.
Where this year, I mean, at least they're bringing players in. They've re-brought in. Oh, another big thing that happened. Yep. Fowler Jr. He wasn't signed when you guys had went.
No.
So Fowler Jr.'s back. The biggest free agent signing the Cowboys have had since 2015. They're going to pay him up to a possibility of $8 million. So that's nice. That's a nice piece. I think pairing him with Micah Parsons, Sam Williams, and Marshawn Nealon, and that's to say they might even bring in another defensive end with the draft. So that's a nice signing. And the Cowboys are shoring up some holes, but they all seem like depth pieces. Like they're still going to be heavily relying on the draft, and they're going to have to find a couple bangers on the draft in the draft, like 2 to 3 starters for this team to be competitive in my mind.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The good news about a lot of those players were that they were highly touted draft picks. So you know that they have had some sort of skill that put them on that list, right?
For sure.
And got them drafted, and then whatever, it just didn't pan out. That can be a scary thing, but the way that I look at it, the benefit right now for us as Cowboys fans is we got a new coaching staff. We don't know what to expect. There's been a lot of high praise for a lot of the dudes that were brought on. So if that's the case, it could just be taking these guys and moving them from if we can move them from like a C+ player, and a C+ player is like your average NFL guy who will be on a team, probably going to be a second or third on the depth for his career. If you can move him into like that, B- B zone where okay, now you can be filling in with a higher quality. That's what we really need. And so I'm not upset that some of those guys were kind of, filling depth holes, because they might have to step up. And if the coaches can bring them to that next level, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the moves, when you look at some of the stuff that they've done comparatively, and we haven't really deep dive comparatively, it's just maybe like off the dome. But I think obviously the one thing that's annoying is that you look at the Joneses and how cheap they are. So it is a bit bargain bin shopping. But when you look at the guys that have left, or the guys that they didn't re-sign as free agents, outside of like J-Lou, like a lot of them could be comparative to the ones that we signed for less money, right? And if you weren't for sure that I'm going to commit with this next player for the next 3 years, then go out for these 1-year guys who have a higher ceiling. And if they do pan out, pay them a bit more money for a 2-year contract next year or coming out to the end of the season. So yeah. I think there's a lot more upside for us in a lot of these signings, and this is possibly me being an optimistic Cowboy fan. But I say outside of the Jordan Lewis one, I mean, I was all right with a bunch of them. It's not the big players that they've gone for. I mean, I was saying in our chat, get me Cooper Kupp, and this is a success. Instead of Cooper Kupp, they gave me Dante Fowler Jr., and I feel like after his season last year, I like that signing more than a Kupp signing.
Or like bringing DLaw back.
Bringing DLaw.
Then you could have the direct position comparison.
Yeah, and then we got Sam Williams coming back. We got a couple of the other guys who are coming into their second year in the league.
The thing with CB, though, you brought up CB, and the more I know, we haven't really targeted CB at all in any of our drafts. And the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to think it's a pretty big need. I was kind of hoping they were going to get one of those guys in free agency that
Charvarius Ward,
too much money. They weren't going to pay him $20 million a year.
No.
A Byron Murphy. Like, I thought they were going to grab a guy that they could plug and play for a couple years so that they wouldn't have to worry about drafting cornerback in the first 3 rounds. But now with seeing how free agency is starting to shape up, the more I like if one of the top blue chip prospects isn't there at 12, trading back to try to get as much fucking picks as you can and getting a CB. Or if like a couple of the like Will Johnson, I think it's Will Johnson, right?
It is Will Johnson,
cornerback
for Michigan,
and then Jadi Barron. Like if either of those guys are there at 12, you might have to take them just because we've seen it in our drafts. Once you get past the second round, you're waiting until like the 5th round to be able to get one, and they're not even great prospects. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cowboys do with the cornerback position, because right now I'm gonna say it's one of our bigger holes. Right on the roster right now, your starting corners are Deron Not So Bland and Kalen Carson. Those are your starting cornerbacks.
Yeah, because Diggs is injured. When's he back?
He might not be back at all for 2025.
Yeah, with what happened, they're not even sure. Mid, I think best case scenario is like November.
I hate to say it, but he's probably
Dunzo
in Dallas,
and especially if Dallas drafts a cornerback.
Yeah, and it would make a lot of sense when you see what they've done to the defensive line, and you're weighing, okay, so you have your number 1 draft pick, you either draft a defensive lineman, whatever you want, defensive interior or defensive end, or a cornerback. Just for my money, where you could make that defensive line stellar, but then how will teams beat Cowboys? They'll just throw quickly
throw out Kalen Carson every time.
Exactly. So getting a cornerback in there actually will benefit the offensive line because they're not going to have defensive line. Thank you. Because they're not going to be able to do those as quick of passes. And the it's like 2.5 seconds the average snap. Of course, if you're going deeper, you got to hold it for longer. But that's what you're kind of battling with, like a 0.1 second difference of like getting to the quarterback or disrupting him enough that he's not going to be able to throw that with 100% accuracy from himself, right? Well, so seeing the defensive line be improved, I don't even know if it's improved, but seeing who we brought to the defensive line, bringing back Fowler, that kind of moves me to be like, okay, if we get a strong cornerback and have Deron Bland and, you know, a first or second round pick on the other side of the ball, that makes it a lot more difficult for the quarterback to pick on us, you know?
Yeah,
Carson out there, he might be great, but we don't know.
The cornerback pick directly helps the line.
Okay, so Jenkins Gaming's reminding us, don't forget Mukiamu and Elam. So we picked up Elam, and
but that's just like depth. That's just depth for me. Like I don't know how
I wouldn't want to.
Okay, say even you substitute either of those guys for Kalen Carson, I'm still not comfortable with that. Is what I mean. Like,
no, I fully agree. And even with Diggs being back, he's like, you can't.
And there's J-Lu
gone. Yeah. Gone. So there's
slot.
Yeah. So you need to fill a slot role, right? So the cornerback is a pretty big need in my mind right now, and it's kind of changed my stance because the draft isn't deep in corner. No. It's not. We've seen it in our own draft.
Well, that's kind of what we're...
A 4th round pick would be pretty nice to be able to buzz a corner with, but unfortunately we don't have one.
Jenkins Gaming is saying that it's going to be hard trading back in this year's draft. It's going to probably be easier to move up. I mean, obviously on our mock drafts, we've been easily able to trade back, but I mean, I would be interested in how do we get into that 4th round? Like, what are some of those picks that the Cowboys would have to do to get into that 4th round?
Well, you got to hope. You got to hope that Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders. This is if Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders end up falling, you better hope that somebody's trying to trade to the Cowboys spot at 12 to take one of them.
Yeah.
That's probably the most realistic scenario for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like a player like the only other guys I'm thinking you're moving up for that could fall to 12 or maybe Tet McMillan or Ashton Genty. But I think the Cowboys take either of those players at 12. So I think if those guys are gone, that has a good chance that the quarterbacks have slid. And hopefully someone calls Jerry trying to trade up to take Shadur Sanders. And you probably can get more than a 4th. You could probably get a 3rd or a 2nd at that point.
R2J2 saying, that's what I keep saying. Y'all need DB help and O-line help more than anything in this draft.
Yeah, the O-line, I think we've been pretty good at drafting O-line. But going forward, I'm going to be pretty cornerback. Like,
CB and
now that we know that they didn't fill that need in free agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they decided to kind of patch up the defensive line with free agency. Now instead of maybe even taking a defensive tackle in the top 3, you're taking a cornerback.
Sorry, Anth, your shirt. Just cut back to Anth's shirt. It kind of looks like it says Dal, but I read it as Dad because of the
because of the right side.
The right side of the.
None of us know. I could have some kids kicking around somewhere.
Just in case, right?
Just in case.
It's true. It might be difficult to trade back, but the Cowboys are in a sweet spot. Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him.
Do we say crack him if you got him if he's cracking a bubbly?
Yes.
We don't.
Hey, any guest we do. So if I'm sitting over on this couch crushing a bubbly apple sparkling water, hell yeah, we're gonna say crack him if you got him.
But you know what? We say it with a little bit less enthusiasm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a touch,
crack him if you got him.
Pinch less. But the Cowboys are in a
fuck you, dickhead.
Hey, that soundbite's sticking. Come on, Alex, work that brain. The pick at 12 is actually really good. Is a really nice sweet spot for if someone drops out of the top 10 that another team wants, that they would move up and make a trade and give a little bit more capital. It's so what I'm hoping for is Cam Ward to go in the top 10 and then Shadur Sanders to slide a little, or even better yet, Cam Ward's not picked by the 10th pick or 11th pick, and then someone wants to move up and grab him. That's what you're hoping for. Who would do that though? That's the question.
Which would be good too, because if he say he does fall and he's there at 10, the Bears aren't taking him at 10. Well, actually, this kind of works against us. the Bears aren't going to take him at 10, and the Niners aren't going to take him at 11.
Well, the Niners haven't re-signed Brock Purdy yet, so
Yeah, but
Who's after Cowboys?
Are they though? They might be
They
waiting until
will.
after the draft.
I
Bandwagon
can see the Seahawks
Who drafts after Cowboys?
at
Oh, I don't know.
13.
Fuck.
We never look.
No, we just,
Bring it up, but Bandwagon Bob says, LOL, I did the same thing, AJ. I was wondering if Anth was keeping a secret from me. Jenkins Gaming is very, very hot and heavy on Barron.
Jadid Barron,
Yeah, Jadid Barron. He says that if...
cornerback out of Texas, but most of the time he's gone by the time.
There's
the
been a couple
Cowboys are
times when he's
drafted.
been there for us. So, guys, what's the over-under if Dallas drafts Barron? 5 more street shots for the year? Question mark? That's what he says.
Oh, wow. Not
Well,
5. I'll
for,
do one.
for me right now. This is if Chat calls the player that, like, okay, so now Jenkins is completely tied to Barron. If Barron goes,
he's been saying Barron probably for the last.
if Barron
4 or 5
goes
shows.
as the Cowboys at pick 12, I will do a shot for Jenkins
Okay.
of Screech.
Okay.
It's the Dolphins that pick after, so they're
Okay.
not going to be.
They're not
looking
gonna-
for a QB.
What I'm thinking is a team like maybe Seattle. Sure, they just signed Sam Darnold to a 3-year deal, but it'd be a perfect place to then have Shadur come in behind him and learn for a year or two.
Yep, but the Raiders still would probably look at needing a QB. Geno Smith isn't the franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
for
I
the
guess
Raiders.
people, but but the thing with the Raiders and even the Seahawks, now that they did kind of shore up a need, are you thinking that maybe next year, wouldn't you rather, and I
Wait a
guess this
year?
goes
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
that's
Seahawks
good. That's
too,
true.
but it's rare that you're going to get a top 6 or a top 10 pick to pick at
Yeah.
6 to then take a quarterback that you're not 100% sold on. I think at 6, the guy you're taking needs to start day one. Like they have Geno Smith. They're not going to take Shadur. Maybe they take Cam Ward if he falls to 6 somehow. But I just feel like at any pick in the top 10, you're taking a position where you have them playing the next day.
You absolutely. If you aren't, you've made a really bad pick because there has to be 10 NFL draft prospects that are starters, and if
Definitely.
you don't pick one, and you have a top 10 pick, that's like
Well, if you look at
fire them.
well, like
Yeah.
so Aaron Rodgers is one of the quarterbacks who has him in place on a team. He's going to go onto a team. It would be smart for, let's say, the
He
Giants.
might just evaporate into
he might
the nether void.
But it would be smart for the Giants to Giants or Steelers to pick up Rodgers and then draft a quarterback either this year or next year, obviously, right? But
If my team needed a quarterback, this is not the year that I'm
taking the best player. I'm taking
I'll
the best
take the
player.
BPA, and I would go with. I'd say, hey, Rogers, come over. I'll pay you fucking $25 million for $25 million a year for 2 years.
Cam Ward is interesting. I think Cam Ward's still worth the top 5.
Yeah.
Because he seems to just have that athletic ability, played in a better division than Shadur Sanders. But I haven't been sold on Shadur.
No,
Just watching him play, and I know he had a shitty offensive line, but it's like I still think if you were a top 5 pick, you should be elevating your team all the time, and he didn't all the time.
it does. There are some quarterbacks in the later rounds that if you are a team who's not wanting to use a high round pick, you could grab Jackson Dart, you could grab a Milrow, you could grab Quinn Ewers, you could grab a couple of solid, formidable quarterbacks that could be placed in this year if need be, or still rock the team next year. And if you were to draft a high level quarterback in the draft next year, it's not like it would be a waste of a pick. So
Yeah.
I do think that you don't stretch it for number 1, but second, third round picks, even a 4th or 5th, there are some quarterbacks that would be solid to be put onto a team. So when you look at Seahawks or the Seahawks or the Raiders getting a quarterback later because you have Darnold and Geno Smith who could handle 2 years, and then you could decide what you want to do next year's draft and see how these guys develop. I think that is a smarter move. Even
getting
if
him later.
don't reach for a guy, but there some team
maybe they could use a 4th round pick. We don't know
exactly. Some team is going to luck out with later a quarterback that should have maybe went a bit higher, but they're going to get it in a 3rd or 4th round, and they're probably going to do very, very well for that organization.
It sucks. It
I
sucks
see Ant's looking at our.
Well, it
draft
sucks.
board.
It sucks for us that it's not a heavy quarterback year. If it was the Cowboys, the Cowboys had the 12th overall pick
last year.
6 quarterbacks went in the top 12. So you're getting pretty much a top 5 BPA player besides quarterback, which is crazy. You could have had a Brock Bowers. Then that's a guy, man, there's so many players there that came after Jared Verse, who's really good. Quinion Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr. Like there's so many guys that went after 12 that in another year might be going top 10, but so many quarterbacks were taken, which is crazy.
Ultra Cowboy says, I bet they draft Quinn Ewers in the 3rd to develop him to be Dak's heir apparent in 2 years. 5-star prospect coming out of high school, played hurt all last year.
I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't know if a 3rd is something I'm looking for.
Unless they somehow magically, if they trade back and get 2 seconds,
gain something, yeah.
Jenkins,
I wouldn't. Here's the thing: we've talked about it for so long. I wouldn't love it, but I'd also be like, okay, there's a fucking rookie quarterback in the building now. Like it would probably definitely be, if I was doing my own PF, it'd be a C- for drafting him there. But we've complained for so long. I mean, at least this is just my Stockholm syndrome, right? At least I'm just thanking Jerry for
just taking one.
Just taking one.
Dak delusional fans with more excuses says Kyle McCord, QB from Syracuse, or Tyler Shaw.
Kyle McCord, I just based off of stats alone.
Yep.
If you're going physical traits, maybe Tyler, but McCord's college, like his last season, he balled the fuck out.
Also, don't forget the dude from Oregon. What was his name? Dylan Gabriel. And Dylan, look, for a left-handed guy, I know it'd be very hard for us to watch. Also hard for your receivers, but he can. I was watching some stuff on him, his road to the combine, and hey, like I said, you just need one good YouTube video that breaks down someone's story to get me involved with them. But that being said, I then went to watch his highlights and stuff. Very good stats. He would be a pretty solid pickup for a team this year.
And there's only 2 left-handed quarterbacks I want on my team.
Who?
Johnny Utah and Footsteps Flacco.
Okay. Well, you know what? Who was that young guy you were just talking about?
Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel. He's learned to throw the ball with a reverse spin. So I'm just lying.
Could you imagine? He has to you'd have to roll his arm.
Yeah, he rolls his arm.
Or he'd have to go underhand.
Yeah, he just underhand pitches. Read that Stephen White one because it's got a little Canadian connection, and then I want to get into the hot Dallas Cowboys gossip.
Stephen White says, it was my only jersey ever. I'm a 56-year-old lifer, number 10 Rush. Favorite number 10, Rush the band and Cowboys.
Okay.
That's great. And
so he's probably pretty sad that Cooper Rush is gone then.
Hey, but it opens up number 10, and number 10's a sweet number.
10 is a good number.
I'd like to see someone wearing that. But
hey, yo.
Nate Dogg in the house. Perfect time because there was like a little bit of a social media Royal Rumble going on between Demarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons with Demarcus Lawrence's departure. And he kind of, I don't know, threw a little gas on a little smoldering fire, and Micah Parsons jumped in. Does anyone else want to do a better recap than me?
You should just bring the video up.
Okay, well, I'll get the video. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because it ain't gonna get flagged. Oh, there it is right there.
Oh, right.
Or that might just be a picture.
Image.
Goddamn image bullshit.
Here,
Nate Dogg says Micah needs to shut up.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Culture Cowboy says, I thought DLaw would be too tired to beef.
That's funny. Oh, here it is right there.
Home there, my family lives there. Dallas is my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there. But, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah. We here.
We here. Demarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining.
It's the guy interviewing him didn't know what to laugh, and then DLaw had to
Yeah.
I just find it funny. It'd be one thing if you left the Cowboys to go to the Chiefs or to the Ravens, to the Lions, to even the Eagles, teams that had very good seasons last year. But the Seahawks seem like they're in rebuild mode. They got rid of 2 of their top receivers in the last few years. They have a new quarterback in Sam Darnold. Realistically, he didn't go to Seattle to win a Super Bowl. He went to Seattle because they were the biggest bidder in his last contract.
He's probably gonna be fucking injured this year too.
He probably it's fair for him to say I'm not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas.
Fine,
but then to say I'm here.
Yeah, you're there because you took the bag, which is fine too. But again, why even have to take a jab at your former team? The Cowboys he was with the Cowboys for what 12 or 13 years.
It just sucks because what he did in that like one little fucking moment, and he doesn't even realize it. Look at his face right there. He doesn't even know what he's done. But he like literally burned a bridge with all of Dallas. Now I'm not saying that's like not rebuildable, and when he does, but he had a chance here to just go off, make his bag in Seattle, and then come back and get free Whataburgers for the rest of his life.
Like
in
Demarcus,
Dallas.
like Demarcus Ware did.
Yeah.
Demarcus Ware went to the Denver Broncos, never said anything bad about Dallas, won a Super Bowl, and is still loved in Dallas.
Yeah, and we no one hates that Demarcus Lawrence made a move to another team.
No, not at all.
Totally understandable, and in fact, wouldn't want to pay him the money and the years that he got in Seattle anyways.
It's almost like he just took a jab because the Cowboys weren't willing to give him an offer.
Yeah, that's
It seems
totally.
Like that seems like what it is. That's
it seems spiteful. He could have said, he could have had a roundabout way of saying it, where it's like, look, you know, I felt like my best option here for the rest of my career was to come to Seattle. You're saying the same type of thing, but you're just not coming out and saying, but Dallas is not going to win a
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
look.
Which he might be right. Okay. I really hope he's not.
You didn't even need to bring up the Super Bowl. You could have just said the exact thing. Look, I wish I would have gotten a contract in Dallas because it's my home, but you know, it's a business. I have to go where I'm needed and I'm wanted, and I'm looking forward to tackling the Seahawks. The
Seahawks are closer to Canada. They got good weed, and that's why I'm making my change.
So this sparked a bunch of back and forth comments. You know,
It did.
obviously, everyone's going to see immediately what Micah Parsons is going to do, since he gets a lot of flack from tweeting and podcasting. But you know, this is the one thing where, yeah, they're bringing it up right there. Which, I mean, if you're in Cowboys Nation, you probably have already seen this, but we're going to cover it anyways.
Hey, we got to give our opinion.
Micah Parsons says this is what rejection and envy look like. This some clown shit. with
It
the
was
clown
shit.
emoji.
He said shit.
he did,
He did say it.
and he put the emoji.
The clown.
Clown emoji.
And then
That
and then-
means you're calling the person a clown.
and then
DLaw says, calling me a clown won't change the fact I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. And then Anthony, you said
that's it. Actually, if Lawrence is shut up and left it, he would have had a lot of people
Taking a side.
taking his side. But he was there for longer. He was participating in the Cowboys for longer. He's the veteran, and now he's calling out a dude who came on as a rookie and saying, well, if you would have been a better player, we would have won.
Which is crazy.
It's just nuts.
DLaw was on multiple teams that had chances of winning. And after the Green Bay game, DLaw came out and said the reason they lost was because they were all tired.
yeah.
So, I mean,
That's rough.
I'm siding with, and DLaw was one of my favorite Cowboys. And I'm sure once the dust settles, I'm sure people will still be a fan of DLaw and what he did when he was in Dallas, but just such a weird way to go out.
Mike Tagg from Cowboys Cave had a really good video that he posted where maybe you can find it, where he talks about DLaw, and like, this is, if you've ever followed Cowboys Cave and you see what Mike Tagg does, his whole man cave is covered in Cowboys paraphernalia.
Well, the first person that shouted out Mike Tagg doing his like call outs, you know, he does the promo kind of videos. DLaw was the first guy that ever shared his promo.
So he talked, I think it was on Instagram, Alex, that he posted the video. He talks about, he's like, look, I got a jersey signed then sent from DLaw. I also got a helmet from DLaw, but he's like, I can't have this in the cave anymore. Like, I have to remove it from the cave, and then maybe when DLaw retires,
You can bring it back.
I can consider bringing it back. He's like, but right now, he's like, you start speaking against Dallas the way you are, like, I can't be a part of that. Similar, and then the reason I was bringing that one up, and I don't know if you can't find it, it's not a big deal. But
I'm finding it.
But then DeMarvin Overshone, when they saw everybody else kind of talking, and on the screen here you can see DLaw with the little purple devil emoji.
Yeah.
And DeMarvin Overshone says Dallas versus everybody with the purple emoji. It was kind of like a nice little shot at.
Well, a bunch of guys came out and tweeted, kind of Sam Williams basically saying my turn now because he's essentially taking DLaw's
it's
spot.
Like one of those two videos.
The thing that I really think sucks about it too is he was a leader on the team, and it kind of makes me look back and be like, I don't think a person who was supposed to be a leader on a team would ever say that or should ever say that. So I wonder if he just wasn't that player in the locker room that we thought he would be, right? And that's totally cool. I'm fine with guys being like, I'm not fucking helping you. I don't understand at his position why he would do that, but like focus on yourself for sure. You don't have to be a leader just because you've been in the league for 10 years, right? But I wonder how much I've heard on other podcasts, Cowboys Factor, I think is, or shoot, Lock. What I always fuck this up. Lock It Up Cowboys.
Locked On Cowboys.
Locked On Cowboys. One of my favorites. I never remember the name, but they were talking about they had heard whispers of Demarcus
Lock
Lawrence
it up.
and Micah Parsons not getting along. So I don't know if that was true and this was just, a one-time thing, but it certainly doesn't, for my money, doesn't put a good spin on how Lawrence was respected or even how he dealt with things in the locker room, right?
Well, I think the younger dudes all kind of go towards
Micah,
because you even had Trevon Diggs tweeting, you had Sam Williams, DeMarvion Overshone, Osa even tweeted. So all the guys kind of had Micah's back, which of course you're gonna take the guy that's still on the team. But yeah, it was kind of being weird. It was Cowboys offseason with no
Drama?
high school drama. So we got a little dose of it, dose of the high school drama. Which
and I don't agree with this comment in chat, but I'm going to bring it up. The deal says, our team is irrelevant when we are discussing Twitter beef. What an absolute joke at this point.
It's like that every year, though.
It's like that every year. This has nothing to do with Jerry fabricating it. This is just this gives a sense of, like Alex was saying, maybe it dives a little bit more into how the locker room was.
And it's not even to do with that. It's to do with the guy that was on the team for 13 years that just got signed as a free agent to another team. Yeah. So it's completely relevant with free agency.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I do agree. This can all be blown over, and when he does retire, we can laugh about it, and he can make a joke or something like that, and be welcome back. Because I think
boxes Micah when they're both retired.
It wouldn't have
on Jake Paul's.
Yeah, sure.
Celebrity box.
Hey, maybe they'll. We don't see the Seahawks this year, but apparently Dallas is coming to Seattle next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Someone
nice.
I talked to a Seahawks season ticket holder the other day, and he's like, "Oh, it's like this year we're not getting a lot of people coming, but he's like next year he's naming all the ones, and he said Dallas is going to be there."
How does he know?
I don't know. Maybe they give season ticket holders.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I think it's every 5 or 4 years that a team will play somewhere.
So hey,
preseason doesn't count, right?
That's going to be an automatic game.
Oh yeah, it's an easy one.
Hell yeah.
So
that honestly, that's probably a three game season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Toss me one, son.
Boys, I found a bunch of hot hunks in this draft, and they are all on the linebacker
list.
On the linebacker list here. So I just brought up the NFL draft big board on PFF.com, and we're going to go through some linebackers. Oops, hang on. Let me.
AJ just has to resize it for the screen. I appreciate him doing this. Oh, sorry, the fans all appreciate you resizing it that way.
Okay, well, while AJ's resizing, I'm going to use one of my players.
Do it.
For our, what's it called? What are we calling it?
Our guys?
Our Rushmore.
Our Rushmore, our draft Rushmore. I'm going to use Jack Kaiser from Notre Dame as one of my day 3 picks.
Oh, fudge. Okay. Neither of us would have gone that, but I like that. Jack Kaiser. Day 3 from Notre Dame.
Do you have you don't have, doesn't matter.
5th round pick.
That's just a little bonus.
5th round pick.
Like if he gets drafted on any time in the day 3, you'll get points. Okay, I like that. I got one too.
Ooh.
Demetrius Knight Jr.
Okay.
Or
second round, you're thinking?
Second round. Man, it's going to have to be, but he is in that second round. He's at a day 2 for sure. Man, I'm filling up my day 2s.
Yeah, do you have any day 1s?
No.
Do any of us have day 1s?
I do. I got Golden.
Who do I have day 1?
You got
Hampton.
Okay, and I'm gonna double down right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Jalen Walker. And we haven't even talked about this guy as the Cowboys picking him at 12, but I feel like he could be a dark horse at 12.
So you're done for your first.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
Mario Hampton and Jalen Walker, I'm okay with that.
Okay, and I'll shore up my day. My guy at number 12, day 1, Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan Wolverines.
I just felt like he had to take a Michigan because I took a Notre Dame.
No, just because just from yesterday, I didn't want to take a cornerback in number 1, but the way the chips are falling, I feel like if he's available and he's there, I think we'll go him.
If he drops so far back to 12, if he's a 6th ranked guy,
Crack if you got him.
got him. Well, yeah, no, Jalen Walker is a good one, and in fact, haven't heard too much about him. Was he even at the too much about him?
Well, this is crazy. They have him at 30th on PFF, but you look at any mock draft, and a lot of them he doesn't even make it to the Cowboys.
In 12.
Yeah, he doesn't even make it to 12 in a lot of the analysts' predictions. So I don't really know what PFF's going off of exactly, but I think Jalen Walker at 12, and he's a guy even before we started doing any of our draft stuff.
Yeah,
I would have liked to take at 12.
I think you took him in one of your early mock drafts, didn't you?
Yeah, and then they had him fall, and I got him in like round 3 on PFF. So I don't know what's going on.
You even stated, "Hey, this is not going to happen," but he was there, so I took him.
Hey, I got a little skittle for you because there's something really interesting that is a standout about Jalen Walker compared to everyone else. Do you guys mind if I take my pants off to tell you this?
Yeah, get it.
Take them. I thought they were already off.
They were. I just wanted you guys to.
So Demetrius Knight, AJ is going with a senior.
No, I'm so yeah. Hey, fuck you. Yeah, he is fucking old. God, 25, gross. If I was Leonardo DiCaprio, I would send your bags packing. No, Jalen Walker, you look at this, I have the coverage rate of how often these linebackers coverage on their blah, blah, blah. Walker here is the almost lone wolf who's only does 29% of coverage snaps. So
yeah, he's kind of like on first down, he's playing linebacker, and then they bring him up to rush. So he's kind of like an edge, but they have him as a linebacker.
But he can do both.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Out of all of the players, a lot of the guys are between like, say, 40 to 60% coverage snaps, and Walker's the lowest one. So that's cool.
There's my boy.
I mean,
Jack
he's 29%.
There's my boy Jack Kaiser.
Yeah, Ant just picked Jack Kaiser. Give me some of his stat lines here.
What do you want to know about Jack Kaiser? Let's go look at his.
What's his coverage like?
His coverage? Well, I got his PFF coverage grade, which is your best example. Crack him if you got him. He coverages 40% of the time, so he's in a 62.9 coverage grade, so he's adequate. Where he really butters his bread, if you will, is the tackling. He's not going to miss a lot of tackles. He's actually very good in his pass rush grade, 77.8, and his rush defense is really good, 86.8. So Jack Kaiser is a bit of a do-it-all. You know, he wouldn't be a bad pick at all in
round 3. Is that when you said you're taking?
Well, he's.
I said 5 just because I didn't think 3, and we don't have a 4th pick. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And he's PFF ranked 130, so it really depends on where all those other guys go. If people jump and take them, then yeah, it's going to bump Kaiser up. But if the guys who want linebackers, if they let him go for another round, there is a potential the Cowboys could get him or package some 5th rounds to move up to the 4th to get him.
And they have the PFF is a bit different because even Draft Buzz, Kaiser's like their 17th or 18th ranked linebacker. So he's somewhere in the middle there. PFF's not a perfect. I mean, all of it's relative to the person making the list, right? Exactly. Everyone has preferences when it comes to how they grade out players.
Yeah, but what doesn't lie though are the PFF metrics. Like they're consistent. So if you think that it's true for one guy, then it's you have a hard argument being like, well,
positional
it's not,
for sure
for positions. Yeah, exactly.
If we're say all of these guys are available at 12, would you be mad if the Cowboys took
it all depends.
Jihad Campbell?
It all depends who was taken before and who. When you ask this, you have to give.
I know.
You have to give like some backstory.
Okay, so Gentie's gone.
Okay.
Obviously, Penn State edge rusher's gone.
Abdullah Carter.
Abdul Carter. We're not even ever.
He's
never falling to 12.
Yeah.
So he's gone.
I think guys like
Barron's gone as well. The cornerback from Texas is gone.
Golden.
Yeah, let's say Golden's gone as well. Sorry, McMillan. McMillan's gone. So now you're sitting there. You have all the linebackers available.
The only one that I would at 12 would be Jihad Campbell. Jalen Walker, though, I wouldn't be upset with it. But
can you pull up Draft Buzz for just 1 sec?
Yeah.
I just wanted to go to this for a sec because this is we get. I just want to see what they have for their linebackers. Hey, Jack Kaiser.
Kaiser.
And then just go to positional and then linebacker. So they have Jalen Walker as their top guy.
Right.
So that's what I mean. So like we're looking at PFFs and we see Jihad Campbell at the top.
But that's maybe not true.
And then, but then here they have their rating at 87.4 for Jalen Walker, right? So it's kind of, you can look at a top of a list and see if I had Jalen Walker and Jihad Campbell, like I've watched both, again, not their crazy film, but I've watched some of their film and I like Jalen Walker better than Jihad Campbell.
Well, honestly, I think all 4 of these top dudes here on this board are guys who I would be, I don't know about, well, I don't think these guys are going to go first, but within our top 3 picks, if any one of these guys were picked, I'd be happy. Derek Carter, Demetrius Knight, Jihad Campbell, and Jalen Walker.
But I mean, so where do you think some of the, like, so Chris Paul Jr., where is he going to fall? I think 3rd round he's going to go to?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, picking a linebacker in the 3rd, I wouldn't hate on that.
I think linebacker would be a better pick for me is if the Cowboys trade back and gain a pick somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I think depending on who's available, it's like, do not reach, just fucking trade back. Do not reach for guys.
If Jalen Walker was there at 12 and if Genty and McMillan are gone and Jalen Walker's sitting there, I would take Jalen Walker.
At 12?
At 12, yes. I 100% would. And then you guys would have to do screenshots.
Yeah.
Because he's my day one.
Because he's a day one. I wouldn't be upset with that. Having any linebacker that's going to come in and just be able to fucking staple that for 4 years, that's a huge help for a lot of the football field.
Again, just has to be a starter at 12. Like,
got to be a starter.
It has to be a starter. We've had the last 2 seasons, our first round pick barely done shit. Mozzie Smith and Tyler Guyton. This year at 12, they have to be a starter, especially if you stick at 12. They have to start.
Let me talk to you a little bit about Demetrius Knight here.
Okay.
Demetrius Knight Jr., okay? Didn't have the greatest number of sacks, but he is a really good football player. First of all, he's a father. He's got a family, and he's going to need to get those kids to eat, okay? So he's going to be hungry, and I like his PFF here. Let me just read off his grades. 82.8 PFF grade in 2024 overall. Rush grade, 85.4. Tackle grade, 79. Pass rush grade, 78.5. Coverage grade, 74.9. And he's about a 50-50 coverage snap to linebacker. So he's kind of got a nice all-over roundabout way. Yes, he's 25 years old, and maybe he's older than that.
Old gray nuts over there.
Old gray. But he's got a 40% pressure rate. Didn't have a lot of pressures, but when he did, he got in there. And even though he only had two sacks, because of his low pressure rate, he had almost a 7% sack rate, which is like above average. So
does it make you worried? South Carolina, who do they play? Are they in the SEC?
South Carolina so for context, Georgia is 225.5 is their strength of schedule. South Carolina is 200.5. So they're in that upper echelons. Okay. They do play good teams. I don't know if Demetrius Knight played great teams last year, but
if you click his name here with PFF,
we're gonna have a look.
Yeah, let's see here. Okay, so they play. Yeah, they're in the SEC then.
Yeah,
because they play against Ole Miss, they play against Arkansas, OU. They didn't end up playing, and he had some good games. Vanderbilt had a good game.
Had a rough stretch in the beginning, but then you fucking came together near the end here.
And he plays quite a bit. D-line, I mean, he's box guy, which is nice. Yep. Played some slot. We get him out there for J-Lou. Got better every year. 60.4 in 2022, 77.8, 82.8 in 2024. Now, can you go to Draft Buzz and can we look at Jalen Walker?
Yeah. But just scroll down.
Oh, yeah, let's see a scroll down. Let's see a scroll down.
Let's see the scroll down right there. Okay.
He's fast, so he's in the 83 percentile and up of his 40 time. He's got a big old wingspan. Arm size is good.
22 on the freaking
22 on the bench.
What are you doing, bro?
Would have liked to seen that a little stronger, but hey, with that 40, you kind of it's like okay, he's got to give up a little bit.
Give me a strength and a weakness.
A pause and a neg.
Okay. Devastating downhill. This is a strength. Devastating downhill trigger and explosive first step allows him to shoot gaps and disrupt plays in the backfield before they develop.
You want that as a linebacker, definitely.
Can be over patient reading run fits, occasionally allowing blocks to develop rather than triggering downhill to disrupt timing.
So they kind of just counter
They counterpointed.
Counterpointed
Yeah.
his strength. They said the weakness was a complete direct attack at his strength.
Yeah. Get your shit together, PFF. Don't fucking just rely on AI to write it up for you.
Now give me my guy here.
Now, Jalen Walker
He
almost
does
looks
look
like
cool.
a skinnier version of Demetrius Knight Jr.
6.5 sacks last year, 61 tackles, 40. He's right up there, 94 percentile.
Didn't bench. Just says I'm not going to show you.
Didn't bench.
So he's
Didn't
kind of a weak.
kind of you got didn't. He was scared he couldn't press 22, so he said I ain't gonna do it. So then we'll go with the strength.
Oh,
Passed it. Okay.
And the strength, he has developed impressive pattern matching skills in zone coverage, showing natural feel for route combinations and spacing, which is weird because in AJ's Skittle board, he only was in coverage 29% of the time.
yeah. But
And that-
he must have locked it down.
Still developing his instincts as an off-ball linebacker, occasionally showing hesitation when diagnosing run plays and flowing the ball.
So kind of both the weaknesses for both guys was kind of the similar.
Yeah.
Just chat. You wrote a sentence in Chat GPT and said, "Give it to me,"
A
Three
couple
different
ways.
and
Give
that's
it,
what you got.
give it to us a couple different ways, you know?
Yeah, but that's my standout linebacker from this class. Another dude who I think or two guys actually. Can I say three guys? I'm just gonna read
Yeah.
the names and you tell me who you want to look at. Okay, Carson Schweschinger is the blonde.
Yeah, we
The
kind of
blonde
looked at him.
bombshell?
We kind of looked at him with EJ.
Didn't
Yeah.
really like him.
Chris Paul Jr. and then who we haven't really looked at are these two guys, Chris Paul Jr. and Jeffrey Bassett.
Let's do
like-
Chris Paul Jr.
Yeah.
because he's an Ole Miss guy. Ad loves his Ole Miss players.
Secretly, I'm an Ole Miss guy, possibly. Not anymore. Now all my guys that I like from Ole Miss are leaving.
They're gone.
They're gone now. They're coming into this draft.
Only one shitty game against the Gators. Who knows that you're going to have occasionally bad games, but started the season off very nicely. Had an 87.2 overall grade. Trying to see tackles 73, missed tackles only 4. So that's pretty good. What's his size
Let me give
for
you
Chris
first
Paul
look on
Jr.
him.
here?
6'1",
which,
235.
Again, every linebacker we look at is between 6'1" and 6'3" and about 235 to 245. That's just the size these guys all are now.
Pretty even all around with his pass, run, and coverage grade.
Yeah.
So you're kind of getting a well-rounded linebacker here.
The only knock would be that average depth of run tackle, but again, if he is purely trying to stop the run, then that's a concern. But if he's more of if he's hanging back into coverage and then coming up to make a stop, that makes sense because you're going to obviously give up yards.
Maybe bring up a draft buzz on Chris Paul
Yep.
Jr.
Yeah, CPJ, baby.
Chris
Yeah,
Paul
I'd like to
Jr..
see
We
his
gotta
40
see him.
time. Got to get a look at him.
If I don't like the look, actually, you know what? Sometimes you benefit from a shit look.
We have looked at Chris Paul.
Yeah.
We have taken a look at him before. I think we've drafted him even a couple
I think
times.
we drafted him once.
Junior, so he's a little bit younger. So like we said, 6'1", they're calling him 222. He's not as fast as Jalen Walker or Demetrius Knight with a 4.63 40, which 73 percentile, which is still pretty good.
I'll tell you his exact height because I got it from the combine.
Okay.
It's or his height and weight. Where the fuck are you, you stupid son of a bitch?
Sometimes the
Yeah,
skittle board can play against you.
He is 6'1", 220, 222.
So,
So
they
maybe
have it.
draft-
So Draft Buzz updates that.
Yeah.
They must.
So he is a little bit light.
Give him. Oh yeah, look at some. I'm not a big fan of
The metrics.
his measurables.
You'd like
here.
to see some more blues.
Yeah, didn't bench at all, so that just tells me something there.
His weight's down, arm size is down, but his tackling's great, man. Like 90% here.
Yeah, and I think sometimes guys skip the bench because it's
Irrelevant for where they're.
well, there is some relevance. Okay, if you it shows you're strong, but I think some guys skip it because it's like, but that's not like I'm more I could fucking do 350.
Can we
Once.
see NFL.com and can we just look at the linebacker after this guy, the
Yep.
linebackers who had the highest bench total?
Give
Yep.
a
Just to get on,
a negative and a pause.
just to get us on the
Okay,
Plus
go ahead.
plus instincts and play recognition skills, quickly identifies blocking schemes and run fits with natural anticipation.
So that's good. At a linebacker, that's exactly what you want to hear for scouting report strength. And for his weakness, undersized frame at 224 pounds, shows up when taking on blocks directly, can get overwhelmed by offensive linemen climbing to the second level. So, and that's directly because he's 222 pounds.
Yeah,
Like four, say here.
if he gets up to 230, how much does that take away from his agility?
Let's just get him to 265.
And-
Fuck it.
Just go. Pump him full of.
Let's
I
just
don't
get
know.
it. Let's get him to 265 and see what the hell. Let's get him to James Harrison size esque.
Jenkins Gaming says Daniel Stutzman is a Cowboy invite guy. He
Yeah,
was
and
right
we're
he's-
Stutzman guys.
Yeah, Juggalo Stutzman. He was right
yeah.
behind Chris Paul on PFF's ranking, and he like almost rated the same. Probably would go with a Stutzy over Chris Paul Jr. Because guess what? Even though I like some of these Ole Miss guys, I have no affiliation with them. I don't give
So
a
this
fuck.
is look at some of these speedsters. Look at Jahad Campbell. He was and Stutzman right behind him.
Yeah.
But
The speed is good. And I think it's 4.6 is like is an average for a linebacker. I'll bring that up. So anything below that, yeah, sure. 4.46 is awesome.
is insane.
But
Micah ran 4.39. How fucked up is that?
that is fucking crazy.
Like insane.
That's why he's a fucking pass rusher.
Yeah.
4.39, man.
Whoa, Micah, you're way too fast to be a linebacker. Get him on
Well,
the
even
edge.
even as edge, that's like I don't think most edge rush like 4.39. You should be playing running back.
Would you consider Micah is a bit undersized as an edge?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time. And that's why like in some alternate reality, Micah is a running back, and it would be interesting to see how he would be at running back because he's the size. He's bigger. He's bigger than Saquon Barkley and just as fast.
Yeah, fuck.
So
Imagine that, eh? I think you probably changed to be on a defensive linebacker edge to make more money.
We need to make Micah as a running back in Madden and play through a season with him.
that would be
yeah,
awesome.
that'd be fun.
Like
That'd be-
his exact size, speed, like his exact attributes in
We
Madden.
could just switch his position.
Well, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can put a. Can
Yes,
you?
you can. You can go
Oh,
in
you
and
can?
edit a player and just switch their position.
Oh fuck, we should do that
that'd be awesome.
But then he would be like
because you could clip
60, but then you could start ranking him at improving his stats for a running back.
because you could clip Micah in a bunch of clips saying that he won't. In his brain he's a running back. He says. So you could have clips like that and then have a season with him. See, that'd be funny.
We're doing it. So yeah, anything about 4.6 or
There's Chris
slower?
Paul.
4.6 or slower, you're starting to be slower than the average bear. How much of that do you really care about? I guess it really depends on the film that you watch of these players. But that's all I can say right now. Statistically, anyone below this line, so the Jeffrey Bassas, the Chris Paul Juniors, the Power Eccles.
So these are the only guys that ran the 40.
These are the guys that ran the
Jack
40.
Kaiser didn't run the 40, which I would have liked to see. Probably
Let-
got scared.
We can go over to the vert.
Jenkins
What are you
Gaming.
laughing?
Sorry, Jenkins Gaming says I just don't want Dallas drafting Scadaboo. Anth runs faster than him.
I probably could run
I'm
faster than Scadaboo. Scadaboo, the funny thing is Scadaboo's faster than all the linebackers we're looking at.
Which is a good thing.
Like he is. He's still a 4.6 guy, but for running backs, that's just not great.
Okay.
For this
Fuck you, Jenkins.
for this vertical jump, which I don't really care. I'm going to
I
go to
think
the
broad.
I
Broad
think
jumps. Broad jumps better.
Broad's more. So for a broad jump, the average is 10. It's 121.75 inches. So what's that?
How many?
10
did
one.
you say?
10 foot one.
10 foot one's the
121.
is the average.
I like your combine knowledge about all the averages and stuff. You're fucking like
Well, this is important
So
stuff.
G-
You're like
and this is
Raymond.
this is the only reason I'm on the show. I gotta
know.
keep
Stats
bringing
boy?
the stats.
Get the stats. So Jahad Campbell, like, not only does he have very good tape, but he had a great combine.
Great combine, and that
Top
I-
in the 40, top echelon of the 40, and in the broad jump.
Yeah, and I like when guys come out and do the combine. The pro day thing for sure. The combine to me, and maybe it's just not as valuable for players. The combine to me was always like it's not valuable to players anymore because you can get the nationwide exposure without needing
with
to go
social
out there
media
and show,
platforms and stuff.
and just broadcasting has just gotten so much better. Like
Yeah.
before, Ants couldn't watch Dallas Cowboys games 10 years ago unless he was standing in the right place in Chilliwack, you know?
Right.
Like
Right, exactly.
But now you can just see all these guys, so they don't need to
Now I
really.
can watch it on my phone while taking a dump.
I would say though that some of the guys who might be
Would Ashton,
like some guys could improve their
yes,
draft stock by going to the combine.
but those guys are not the high, like the high. So an Ashton Gianti
Is not
didn't
gonna
come
benefit
because
from
he
it.
was like, I don't get any benefit from doing this. Whereas if he had those stats, but no one was able to watch him, then he might have had to come show up and at
Yeah,
least
like
do
if
a
you couldn't
40.
if you couldn't just throw on YouTube and watch all his stuff.
It actually will be interesting to see if, and again, sometimes when you hear what's like, let's say when we talk about the quarterbacks falling right now, this could just all be like counter marketing from other NFL teams who don't want some of these other teams to pick them too high so that hopefully they fall. But like,
Do you think that happens?
oh yeah, 100%, dude. You're talking about billions of dollars and millions of dollars.
I'd
So
love to be on that social
I think it
media
does.
team.
For sure.
100% it happens.
Well,
So
the team certainly don't want to show their cards either.
of course. So like when you're it's there's a lot at stake for those types of picks. So when you look at like, and it'll be interesting to see this year because all the talk about Shedeur not throwing at the combine could have really hurt his stock, and Dart having a good combine increased his stock. So
if he
Dart,
goes ahead of him,
if Dart goes ahead of Shedeur,
Ad will have a big old fucking rubber ear on under the table.
Well,
Oh yeah.
for sure, but
We
whatever.
have to bring
dog.
Give me a bench. Let's see these boys and how strong they are.
That's what and bench seems to be the one that like, and then we're gonna look at 3-cone and shuttle too. But
I just want to see
yeah.
who's strong. Okay, not
Ted
even
Ye.
not a lot. So 20s looks kind of like 20s probably. Well, it was the low bar for these guys.
you're
but-
right. You're absolutely right. It's 20.
Oh, Ted Ye. There's our guy. We drafted Ted Ye.
Yeah.
There's Wayjay's guy, Demetrius Knight Jr., fucking 22 reps. Thought he was a weak bitch, but guess
And
what? He's right in the mids.
Anything over 20 is better than average. So
Yeah, of course.
Schweschinger's coming in there doing average. Okay.
I mean, 20.
What you don't want to see is like 15.
I don't even know if I could bench 145 pounds 20 times. So
Yeah.
225 is pretty good.
Yeah, that's psycho. But
225 for 20 reps is pretty fucking
They
solid.
should all be doing it.
what I would like to see,
I want to see these linebackers push in.
I don't mind keeping the bench, but what I would also like to see is they have this system, and it's an automated bench press machine. And what it does is you hold it, and it shows you your max that you can just hold. That would be a really cool thing for them to implement as well,
Because
because
that's not just based off of one thing. It's like a lot of factors.
it's like how much can it's essentially showing how much power you can generate in one hit. Because sure, Teddy Buchanan, it's great. Like he's
Whoa,
a
that's
powerful,
Ted
strong
Ye.
guy. Sorry, Ted Ye. Ted Ye. But when someone does 26 or 30, you're not in a football game doing that in a row,
Right.
right? It's more of that first powerful hit. How much can you generate from that? And then, of course, like fatigue sets in, and this is where this is becomes more important. But I'd love to know how much power can these guys generate in one kind
Like
of
1
strike?
to 10.
Yeah,
Like they have 10, and like whoever had the 10 most powerful, reps.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
This person averaged their 10 reps averaged at 296 pounds.
Yeah.
A rep or something.
exactly. Yeah, you could figure out. I don't know how the technology works, but it does automatically adjust. And so if they could figure out how to implement that, it'd be cool.
How many reps did Micah Parsons do at the combine?
I doubt.
That's a good
I doubt
question.
even. I
He
don't
might
even,
have
Mike,
not even done it.
Micah just did a pro day.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, while we're doing this, let's go throw back to. Let's go on Twitter
Yeah.
and watch Micah's 40
Okay.
at his
Okay.
pro day.
Even though we're doing LBs, but he came in as an LB.
He was
Yeah.
an LB.
First of all, let me just pull this up. This is Micah Parsons' Penn State Pro Day.
Okay, so yeah, 439. He did 19 reps, so he did do it. He was actually
A
lighter.
little lighter. Yeah.
And then his broad jump, what did you say was good? Because he's 126.
121, so he's over.
So he's over. And then his height, 6'3", 246, like good size. Like he's a good size dude. So he had Micah had a fucking ball in pro day.
Let me pull this up.
And he was selected at 12.
Dun, 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 Micah Parsons. All those teams who didn't draft him, what the fuck were you thinking?
Crack 'em
Crack 'em
if you got 'em.
It's the best way to get Ad to stop
son.
singing.
Hang on, here we go. Let me
Fuck
just.
you, Ant.
I
Oh, and he
know.
came out without the shirt.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
classic
that's why we have
Parsons.
to
Look at
go through
this.
it. Michael Parsons now running his 40. That looks like a strong time as well.
Like just ripping.
And he's probably got a big elephant between.
So
those.
Parsons, we know where he is headed, right? This is a top of the draft guy. He ran a 4.41 there, Howard. So again, I mean, these are exceptional times.
It's a fucking beast.
Yeah, that's crazy. You thought that was Micah for a second, didn't you? Because it looked like him.
With this?
Yeah.
Who
That's
is that?
Sam Williams.
Oh, what the fuck?
I knew that's why I had to say it.
It looks like all they have.
JJ McCarthy's pro day.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Look, any other guys you guys want to look at here for
Look
our
at these
linebackers?
here. Brandon Cooks 4.33, Kelvin Joseph 4.34, Tony Pollard 4.37, Micah Parsons 4.39. That's crazy.
That's wild. I wish they also aligned pro days in a fashion where they could then showcase that on NFL Network too.
Yeah,
Do they do that?
they'll just show highlights.
Like I would like.
They'll tell you the days that they are, and you can watch all, like, say the big teams like Ohio State.
Yeah.
They'll say their pro days happening, and then you just go on their website and
Watch.
it's going to show all the main guys. Like, there's probably 10 schools that you could watch and get a big portion of the dudes that are coming out.
Okay. Before we
Give me a little Jack Kaiser.
yeah, we're gonna pull up Jack, and this is what I want to. Okay, how about some later round guys?
Yeah,
right?
Jack Kaiser, baby. There he
There's
is.
only 2 later round. Actually, sorry, the 3 later round guys are all grouped together that I like.
Well, go off, King.
So we got they're kind of grouped together, and then I'll say 4. So Jack Kaiser, Kobe King, Cody Simon, and then Danny Stutzman.
Well, we've looked at Stutzman quite a bit.
Yeah, we don't need to look at Juggalo Stutz, so let's just go look at Jack Kaiser.
Oh my god.
The accountant, and he's like I'm pretty sure he's 26.
He's the account. He's going to be. He almost starred in The Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck and
6'2", 231. Jack Kaiser. Let's see, because I don't even think he was at the combine. 4'6", 840. So he's slow as molasses. Or what did we say? 4'6" is kind of
4'6"
the
is-
4'6"
bottom?
is
Yeah, for
4'6", 8. He's slower than the average, but not by much.
Okay, but he's still above 50.
Does Jack Kaiser kind of look like if they made a TV movie based on Kirk Cousins' life?
yes,
And he would play?
100%.
I think so.
Totally.
Or it's Kirk Cousins' older brother who's a defense, and Kirk Cousins grew up being called a pussy from Jack Kaiser.
Yeah.
Kirk,
Yeah.
you're nothing but a pussy quarterback.
My brother.
Actually, I
motivated
shouldn't
me.
say that. Kirk Cousins, you've watched that Netflix show with him, and he gets destroyed so many times, and he fucking gets up,
Yeah, he's pretty
and he
tough.
still balls. So he's not a puss. Sorry.
Scouting report strength from my guy. Exceptional tackling technique with a minuscule 4% missed tackle rate over the past 3 seasons. Wraps with proper form and drives through contact
like
consistently.
that.
That's a nice.
I
That is
like
a
Kaiser.
strength, baby. 4% missed tackle rate in 3
Yeah,
years.
that's huge.
psycho.
So weakness, limited athletic traits, his frame and below average explosiveness that narrows his margin for error against NFL caliber athletes. So
Hey,
That
maybe not.
maybe go fuck yourself, PFF.
This is draft buzz, bro.
Draft buzz, fuck you.
Hey man, I'd still for a later day 3 pick, I'll take it.
Kaiser.
That's my guy. There's my guy.
I like it.
Definitely looks like Kirk Cousins. A good call on that.
Yeah, it's he's within the Cousins blood lineage. The other guy, who did you say you had? You had 3.
Kobe King, we don't really ever look at. Kobe King or Cody Simon, I'll leave it up to you guys.
Kobe King, we drafted.
Did we?
And you drafted Simon. You guys
But
drafted
we
both these guys.
no, but we never look at them.
No, we
but
didn't.
But we don't
We
look
didn't.
at them on draft
Oh, you
buzz.
didn't
is what
look
I'm
at them on
talking
draft
about.
buzz.
So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
we're oh,
Go B.
Kobe King looks like he could be 40 years old or 20 years old. That's the problem.
3 sacks though, and he's a Nittany Lion.
He kind of looks like
Respect.
he kind of looks like Steve Urkel grew up and became a fucking banger linebacker.
Let's see. We got to see his metrics here.
I'm buying insurance from him.
Oh, definitely.
He actually,
So he's-
he owns
I
he
guess-
owns an insurance deal.
Runs the exact same 40 as Jack Kaiser.
Yeah.
Okay, him and Kaiser, both looking like accountants.
Yeah, the accountants.
Okay, I like that first line there. Detroit bred and Penn State molded.
Boosh, baby.
And we know that Penn State is linebacker U.
It's true.
Possesses elite run-stopping instincts with a natural feel for blocking schemes, consistently beats offensive linemen to their spot and disrupts rushing lanes before they develop. So
That's good.
He's that downhill linebacker that we're talking about. Not sure if we need him. I don't know what his coverage looks like, but actually, sorry.
We're gonna
Look at his weakness.
We're going to look coverage here. Coverage skills remain a work in progress. Can look mechanical when forced to flip hips and run with athletic tight ends in man coverage.
So you're taking
Okay.
him out on 3rd down and in passing
Well,
situations. He ain't going to be out there. in
It
the
sounds like
NFL.
we already have that. Oh, sorry, I even had it on a smaller screen. It sounds like we already have that guy in Sanborn that we just picked up.
Yeah.
Sandboard almost sounds exactly like that, though.
Like Kobe King.
Well, kind of like Kobe King, yeah.
And who was it? Then Cody Simon?
Cody Simon, I believe, did we not pick him up on our last?
Yeah, you drafted Kobe
Yeah, we
King
did.
and Cody Simon.
But hey, listen.
You know who's better than this, but than Cody Simon? Because you guys drafted him.
Yep.
The guy right below him, Cody Lindenberg.
Okay, let's
This is a dude.
Let's look at
this is-
Lindenberg.
Let's look at 2 Codys.
And you guys will get a good laugh at what Lindenberg looks like.
Okay.
But I
we'll
like
do-
his potential.
We'll do Lindenberg, and then I want to look at Cody Simon.
Yeah.
Oh!
We've looked at him before, but not looked at him.
I have not seen that face. Why is this? What's going on with the mouth here?
He's,
Kinda got-
he's sticking his tongue out. He
remember
don't-
the teenage?
That's how he does it.
No, you.
They-
Yeah.
That's how he does
He
it.
went like this. He was about to go like this. And they took the shot just before he went like this.
Cody, can you put your tongue in your
Yeah,
mouth?
get
It's the shot. It's from 21 Jump Street when they're just like this. And he's like, get that tongue back in your mouth.
He Lindenberg has the mouth of the old Ninja Turtle toys, where one was like like this, like they're like almost like their front of their lips was taped.
Right.
He looks like a Ninja Turtle to me.
He's my
Also
guy.
looks like he might be on an old version of Cops living in a trailer park, like a crackhead,
Crackhead, like methed out.
ex-crackhead perhaps.
getting his
One
life
sack
together.
though. Do you love it?
Don't love it.
4'6", so he's closer to the
He's faster.
the AJ's mark.
He's faster.
Decent wingspan. Let's see what his neg and pause is. Anth, go ahead for a pause.
Elite diagnostic skills pre-snap, consistently puts himself and teammates in position to make plays by recognizing formations and tendencies, particularly evident in his 14 tackle performance against the Nittany Lions.
Scouting report, weaknesses. Injury history raises durability concerns. Missed significant time in 2021 and 2023 due to methamphetamine seasons, which could impact his draft stock despite a strong 2024
Oh, I don't
campaign.
like that. I didn't know he was an injury bug. But that was also with Peyton Wilson last year, and the Steelers took him in the 2nd or 3rd round, and that guy paid dividends. So
Yeah.
Anth, what are you trying to do for us? Buying a broken car?
I like him.
It depends on that injury, and every single year that medical science is getting more and more better,
More gooder.
Totally.
more gooder. Last thing I'll say about Cody Lindenberg is I just like the haircut. That's all.
Looks like he's going to his first day of school.
And who was the other Cody?
Cody Simon.
Simon from the Ohio State
Simon and Garfunkel?
Buckeye boys, who you guys did draft. And so we have
Yeah,
looked
we have
at him,
looked
but
at him
him
before.
before. Jersey
7
City.
sacks. Oof.
So he's a sack machine.
This is my question for y'all before we go into Cody Simon's strengths and weaknesses. Do you feel like you would put a linebacker ahead of another guy if they had very similar stats, but one guy had 10 sacks and one guy had 2 sacks? Like, do the Cowboys need a sacking linebacker, or do they need more of a tackling defensive?
Well, if he's a
run stopper?
blitzer, right? Like if he's just getting home on his blitzes,
You can't fault him for
you
that.
can't fault him for that, right? If he's getting those lined up at edge, that's a little bit different then, right?
What I like though about Simon, 7 sacks but 112 tackles. So
Yeah, that's good. So that's
He's-
actually a really nice stat line.
yeah.
Scroll it down.
Simon's
for-
got a very nice stat line, and he's he's fast as fuck,
Oh,
boy.
he's a blue. He's a 4.5.
He's fast as fuck, boy.
He's going, Micah.
He's going,
come out and
Micah,
play.
come out and play.
He's like, oh, just nonstop mad that you're not the fastest linebacker or fastest defensive player. He's like, dude, you ran a 4.5.
Hey,
Debatable.
Let's line up.
in pads. No,
Let's
you
line up.
didn't. No, you did.
Let's line up, old man.
Yeah,
Scotty
Mike. You just keep calling Micah old man.
moves like a safety in a linebacker's body, which we kind of are talking about in terms of coverage. His 4.5 40 time translates to sideline range that jumps off the screen when he's hunting down those ball carriers.
So I do like this, but
Yeah.
he's small. He's a
You know-
tiny guy.
And that's one thing though is that the Cowboys have lacked is those big open pockets on the left and right side of the field when they swing a running back out, right?
We saw what Overshone could do with his speed as an off the ball
Yeah.
linebacker, and we got some questions with that. So getting a guy that can do that for some depth would be nice.
That's the most, I mean, I know we talked about him being undersized, but the most important strength for him is right there. Possesses rare comfort and coverage for a run-first defender, fluid in zone drops with natural feet for passing windows, and leveraging routes appropriately. So
You dirty little slut.
I don't like that you brought in a second strength.
dirty-
but
you
you snuck it in. You
I snuck it in.
Now we have to do 2 weaknesses.
Now we gotta do two weaknesses.
So look, okay, I'll do the 2
and you do
weaknesses.
both of them.
So undersized frame at 229 pounds shows
You're-
up against
you dirty
offensive
slut.
linemen. He gets engulfed by those gorging climbing guards and struggles to maintain his anchor when directly challenged.
Okay. Yeah, because he's small.
So this
When you said gorging, I lost train of thought there.
occasional over-aggression leads to vulnerability against misdirection. His downhill trigger works against him when offenses designs counters or draw plays his way.
So when they run towards him,
Yeah.
when they counter towards his side, he kind of gets taken out of the
He
play. So
backs up.
he's better off kind of following behind the play and cleaning up the tackle. So you'd want him to be your weak side linebacker and hope that they don't design plays directly at him.
Because he's just going to run backwards.
Yeah, he's just gonna.
I'm in coverage. No, you're not. You're a fucking linebacker. Okay.
I'm in deep thirds.
But like with the amount of tackles that he has there and
No,
and his fumbles forced, there's this other weakness that they had at the bottom there, which again sometimes you look at them stretching it.
You dirty slut.
This is it. You okay?
But hey, I'll give
I
him-
know.
I'll give him 3
You're
weaknesses.
creating conversation. so.
Tackling can be feast or famine, arise with excellent position, but occasionally fails to wrap up, leading to missed opportunities in spaces that won't fly at the next level.
You know who doesn't miss tackles?
Jack Kaiser,
Jack Kaiser doesn't
4%
miss
miss tackle.
in 3 years. Okay.
Well, doggy dogs.
We're
we
gonna
doing it?
We
It's a
blitzkrieging
doggy-
it.
it's a
5.5, baby.
fucking
Let's
dog.
5.5.
Linebacker edition.
Okay, stipulations. We gotta start adding them on because we're getting a little. We gotta start.
A little comfy.
This is one I want to throw at us.
We got to
We need-
draft a linebacker in the top 3.
Okay, that's fair.
Say it again.
Also, I want to say it again.
Well, I took him off the screen.
Okay.
I just wanted to.
We have to draft a linebacker in the first 3 rounds.
Okay, Ant, that's
like a
excellent.
fucking robot.
Can you say it again?
We have to take a linebacker in the top 3 rounds.
We got to take out linebacker.
Well, what about this? We also have to trade up into the 4th round.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll actually trade up into the 4th round,
And
and we have to take a linebacker on our 5.5 mock draft. Make sure to check us out on every Wednesday when we do live mock drafts. Those are our real ones. These are our fun ones. We sometimes call these speed drafts, but they also turn into elongated drafts because we crazy like that.
But we are getting better because we're starting to recognize.
Well, that's
some-
what I'm saying.
some
We're getting to
dudes,
the
so.
point where we're gonna have to know reasons why we want to take. Like at some point, I'm gonna say there's no draft buzz allowed. There's no
Ooh.
right, and we're just gonna have to take. We're gonna have to do it ourselves.
What's going on
are you
over here?
puking, or why don't you come in and show everybody on the screen what you're wearing?
I could just see Linz's foot, and I didn't know who.
Hey, Cowboys! Are those Cowboys pants too, or just the colors?
Those are the Sunday service pants.
Yeah, they are. Hey, I actually have
We're
those
all
pants.
clout.
Adam has them too.
I'll wear those pants.
Those are the Sunday service
his
pants.
and hers. Well, actually, Mav and I had them, and now they don't fit Mav, so Lynn's took them
Nice.
over.
Oh, so it was sons and dads, and now it's
Sons and dads matching
Sunday
matching
service
jogs.
Sunday service pants.
But those are Sunday service ones. I don't know why I've never thought about that.
all right. We're gonna do with the we start on the slow speed when we do these drafts, just so we can have a look ski at who's getting drafted. Regular setup, PFFs versus public board is right down the middle.
Well,
Everything else I didn't change.
we got really messed up the last draft because people were going when we weren't expecting it. So
No, and it was
My favorite thing is add pause. Okay, pause. Okay, pause.
because I like to talk sometimes. I like to bring it up. My favorite part was and you already called it out. I was just saying, should we stretch and take Ibuka? And Alex was like thinking I was talking about trading back. I was like, no. Just let's take. Do we want to take him at 12? AJ will not mess up his rating to overstretch a guy in those first couple rounds.
I want the A plus.
You guys got an A- last one.
I know. I want the A plus.
Oh, that do we
A
have?
plus is tough.
and I've tried it where you just pick BPA.
You don't get it.
It does not.
You
give
have to
A+.
do the perfect
Yeah,
draft.
yeah.
I've tried. I've gotten A's, but I don't think I've ever had an A plus.
Me too.
I'll just say the bandwagon. Crack him if you got him.
Got him.
The bandwagon boys we were sitting on fucking picks last one.
You were.
Okay.
Well, so this is where we go right now. 7-round Dallas Cowboys mock draft. Draft.
5.5.
We got to draft a linebacker in the first 3 rounds, and then we also have to trade up
Into
to
the
get a
fifth.
4th round pick.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's rock and roll. Let's
Slow
rock
speed,
and
we're gonna
roll.
slow roll. Who's going first, guys?
I mean,
Hunter
Travis
Jr.
Hunter's been the one that's been going lately. So
When sometimes when you don't hit start draft, I'm like,
Travis
Hunter's
Hunter,
gone.
Ashton Genty.
Will Campbell.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay, that's good for us, guys. Abdul
Abdul
Carter. Alrighty.
That's not good for us if he goes
No.
to that. Mason
Mason
Graham's
Graham gone. Tet McMillan gone.
There
Jade
goes our-
Barron to the Raiders.
Raiders.
Cam
Cam
Ward
Ward off the board.
That's good
Nice.
for us. Tyler Warren.
Damn it. Tight end to the Panthers.
Membu to the Saints. 10. Ashton Genty to
Shit.
the Bears.
That's okay.
And then Kenneth Grant, defensive interior to the 49ers.
Jihad Campbell's number 10
mean, I
sitting
think-
right there.
I
I think
think this-
I think
this
we got to go
perfect.
for it.
I think it
perfect.
makes it easy for us. But again,
We always look.
I'm in firm belief that Jalen Walker will be gone before
Okay.
Campbell. I'll take Campbell for the sake of us getting a good draft or to get us a good grade. But mark my words, Jalen Walker will be drafted before Jihad Campbell on day one of the draft.
What if he doesn't go?
No, he will be. If he doesn't, I'll do a screenshot.
Okay. But we don't have any Screech left. We'll have to
We can get Screech.
Okay.
We need Screech for the
Canadian, so it'll still be on the shelves.
So there's an option here. There's a 4th round pick.
Campbell's going to be gone.
Campbell's going to be gone.
I think so. If we don't take him, I have a feeling he's
Right,
He'll,
but
he'll go to
you like Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker's way
Hey,
down here.
I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it for the grade, baby.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying I wouldn't mind trading back, picking up Walker with our first
Hey,
pick.
before we did this, we talked about trying to get the highest grade. If we take
Okay,
Jalen
okay.
Walker, we're getting a C. We're getting a C plus.
Okay.
Campbell fell to us here at 10th. He's
We would, and that would be the
can you,
smart
Can
pick.
you go? What's Jalen Walker's ADP? What is it? Because Campbell's is 17.
20. Oh, sorry. I thought it was 20.
23.7.
Okay, so he does get picked less, but that could also be because people are just
Yeah, people are just
a lot of that is people are just
they don't even see him down there.
yeah.
But okay, let's take. I like Jihad Campbell, man. He's
It's not-
fast. He's a workout warrior. He's gonna start day one, and he's gonna help the defense out right away. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team. All
There
right,
he
now
is.
we're slow rolling.
Now, did we say we got to trade up to the 4th, or we could make some moves to also make trade back?
We just need a
technically?
4th round pick. I should
Yeah,
have
okay,
said.
okay, yeah.
Abuka at 15 gone. Will Johnson to the Cardinals.
James Pierce.
That's a big fall for him. He's been another big fall. Starks, safety of Georgia.
Shamar Stewart, edge.
Calvin Banks, tackle from Texas.
Simmons to the tackle to the Steelers. Luther Burden goes to the Chargers.
That'd be a good spot for him, man.
Mikhail Williams, edge to Green Bay. Walter Nolan, defensive interior to Minnesota. Derek Harmon, defensive interior to
Don't know much
Texans.
about him. Colston Loveland, don't know much about him.
Tight end to LA. Matthew
Golden.
Golden.
Oh,
there
Wow,
he goes.
to the
Wide receiver,
fucking
Falcons.
Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens. Nick Scorton to edge to the Lions. Darius Alexander, defensive interior to Washington. Jalen Walker, there he goes.
At 30.
At 30, where he should be to the Bills. Gray Zabel, tackle to KC. Jack Beck, wide receiver to the Eagles. Nick Emanwari.
Oh, Hampton
Hampton.
to the Giants.
Hampton goes. Yeah, we're just going to read off the big names. Now, Shadur Sanders there finally goes at pick 35.
That'd be
to
huge
the
for the Titans to get Shadur in the
Yeah.
second round because
Yeah.
they were mocked at taking a possible quarterback with the first overall pick. So if they got Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter in this draft,
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
so they got the Colorado boys.
Kind of a bloodline. They got the bloodline pick.
together. Bring
Hey,
them boys back
Trey
together.
Amos, cornerback, Ole Miss.
You got a couple Ole Miss boys here. I do think Trey Amos at this spot. The more I think about cornerback, the more I think it's a need. He played in a pretty tough division,
SEC.
SEC, and he had pretty nice stats while doing it.
I don't think we ever picked him up, though, have we?
No, we haven't.
Ooh, I like the tats. I like
6'1", he's 6'1", 195. That's not a bad size for a corner. 4'4", 3 interception in college football is pretty nice.
13 passes defended.
Yet he tackles. He's fast. 4'3". Vert's nothing to scoff at.
Hey, he gets over those 10 rep marks on the 225 bench. I don't need my cornerbacks being able to press up to 20.
I don't mind it.
I think it's a good.
I think it's a good pick. Cornerback, Ole Miss. We're taking. Hey, this is a defensive draft, baby.
Yeah. Let's bring him. Let's
Well,
welcome it.
I think after this spot, after Trey Amos, I don't think you're finding a starting cornerback.
No.
Bring up-
actually,
bring-
you know what?
actually
Let's
bring up
just bring up
CBs.
CBs just to verify this. I mean, there's
Wanye's Thomas's brother,
Thomas.
but we're not
I
gonna.
I think we just.
I think he's a good pick. I think he's a good pick in the second round for the corner.
This is the drop off here. If we don't take Trey Amos, then 76 is where we pick next,
And they're
after
all
that,
gone.
That's where it's dropped. So it's like you pick the best of these 4 guys,
yeah.
and we don't know enough about them to like
So
move back 19 picks to get Darian Porter, for
No.
example. So
I think Trey Amos is a good pick.
I think Trey, because we're targeting a 4th round pick, this allows us to grab a round 3 and a round 3 or round 4 halfback or wide receiver combo. I think the next one hopefully we
Yeah.
target something in that. I think we do need to go for a wideout.
how the cards fall for us, we can. The 4th round pick is going to be pivotal when we make that move, and we're going to make that move. So
Pretty quick.
shall we hold our cocks in unison?
Trey
and
Amos, welcome to
Trey
the team.
Amos.
Welcome to the team, Trey Day.
Oh, miss.
Ole Miss.
This is a different draft, guys. This is a different draft. I love doing these drafts with you.
What's more important now, running back or wide receiver?
BPA, honestly, I think a wide receiver I would lean to, just because I know if we might have some more chances to pick up a better running back than wide receiver in the 4th.
Are these are all updated picks now too, right, for the Cowboys? Because what did the Cowboys
should be? Yeah, because
Yeah.
What's 149?
We don't have the 172 anymore.
Is 149 a 4th round pick?
it's a 5th round.
149 is it's the top of the
Must
fifth.
be just
the top of the 5th.
yeah,
So after we
because we don't have a 4th.
when it so when it pauses on our pick here, can we just there goes Carson Schwessinger, and then Cam Scattaboo off the board to the Commanders.
Fuck.
And Caleb Johnson. So there's being a little run on running backs at the moment. Damn.
I thought we would. I
Running
thought
back
we had.
might be the one we have to go for.
I thought
guys.
we had a chance for Caleb Johnson possibly in this one, but
Travian Henderson gone.
Oh,
Judkins,
fudge.
don't you dare fucking go, Judkins.
Yeah, this has to be a Judkins pick. Dylan
Sampson's
Sampson
gone before Judkins. Okay.
Wow, man, we're getting the RBs are flying off the
I
board
think
right now.
if Judkins isn't there, I think we might have to take an RJ Harvey.
Well, you got RJ Harvey still. You still got a Tootin in the later rounds that you could possibly get as far as running backs go. But we're thinking skill position here, right?
Yep. Okay. Here we
Okay.
go. So let's bring up wide receivers and halfbacks.
Oh, Judkins went.
Judkins is gone. Where
Yeah,
did he
Judkins
go?
must have went 2nd round or high 3rd round. So keep up. Really? Oh, there he is.
51.
Wow, to the
The
Broncos.
He went
Okay.
before Traven.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay, well we're fucked. We're fucked.
Well, I don't think RJ Harvey here is a bad pick.
RJ
RJ's
Harvey's
good.
Harvey, and then if you look down the wide receivers, we could probably.
Jalen Knowles good, but he's not that size. Like I'm thinking, if you're gonna get a halfback or a wide receiver, he's got to be that size guy
okay,
in there.
so
Those are
That
gone.
Savian is the size guy of these 3.
And we're
okay,
not
if I
stretching
remember.
here and taking.
No, but we do need to pick up a 4th.
We do.
So we draft. If we draft RJ Harvey, then we have to make the move to get into a 4th round pick. We could probably pick up Savion
So-
Williams as the 4th.
So AJ, scroll down here and just see what the 4th round starts 103,
103.
and then go down to the end of it. 103 to 138 is our trade range.
So we probably might need to do a 149 and like a 204 to get into there.
So Tennessee Titans hold that 103. That's the top of the 4th round.
Let's just see what they want, and then we'll go make our pick. I just want to see.
I think we have to keep that 76th because we need to
Oh,
draft
right,
RJ
sorry.
Harvey. It's going to be tough to trade up. We might have to get rid of the 149. And then, 149, and then we'll fuck around with some of these.
That's if we wanted that 103. Okay, so we know it's going to cost us 3 picks to go to 103.
In the fifth. But is it worth it?
I think so. I think getting into the 4, unless we go not at 103 and we go.
Go a bit deeper. Go a bit deeper in the 4th round. Try 118.
118.
Yeah. Go 118. That's kind of midway.
Falcons. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, give
Yeah,
them
this is-
try 204 even. No, they ain't going for that.
but they might take 204, 2.
Okay, just try it. Fuck
247?
it. to see if they want to dance. No.
Oh, okay. Try the.
Come on, you little bitches.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have to go
Give them that
174 and
211.
149.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's most
I'm
realistic.
fine. I'm fine.
It's
fine with
most
that.
realistic too. Like,
We're trading up. Let's get in there. This is the Mingo
Got it.
pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go, baby.
all right,
We're back in the fourth.
now we go back.
We've completed our challenges. Now we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Oh, we got to
Yeah.
take RJ Harvey here.
We got to
Chris,
take RJ Harvey.
Interesting enough, we could have won a different route, and we could have
Yeah.
gotten Chris Paul Jr. in the top 3
Yeah.
as a linebacker. So that's good to know. Chris
He's
Paul
still there.
still would have been hanging around at our 76 pick. We did like Chris Paul Jr. Ad had an Ole Miss boner for him. Good to know that if we didn't go linebacker first, we could have still picked up a half decent linebacker in the 3rd round.
And then there's Benjamin
And-
Morris.
and Stutzy as well.
Benjamin Morris, 6 foot 190.
Yeah, but the whole point of this
Oh, right, was the linebacker.
we
draft.
needed a linebacker between rounds 1 and 3.
All right, let's bring Harvey on, guys. We know we want it.
RJ Harvey, we've looked at you. We've drafted you a couple times. Welcome to the team.
And these 4th round picks just feel so weird to have. So this is nice.
They fucking better do something.
We
to
could
get in
probably
the
speed
fourth.
this shit up now, though.
Yeah.
Let's speed it up. Let's go into overdrive.
Well, now that we've already done our.
Oh shit! I'm flying through. Boom.
Oh, hey, I mean, fucking.
Boom shakala. Here we are, and a lot of the picks
Yeah,
are
we-
targeting
a-
quarterbacks.
So we
Well,
want.
this is uncharted territory
This
for
is.
us.
So wide receiver is what we were kind of thinking as well. So fuck, actually, we could have. Hey, we could have taken JD on Blue as a running
Jade
back.
on Blue.
Jade on Blue as a running back for in the 4th here.
Yeah, but I'm not liking that. I wouldn't have liked that.
Let's look at Kobe Bryant. Great name. 6'1", 175. Kobe Bryant, like Kobe Bryant, has a top-tier mentality to win at the position. His
We did
length-
draft corner though in the 2nd.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I'm sorry. I thought we didn't. It's
Yeah,
right
we
there
took
in
we
front of my
took Trey,
face.
we
Just
took Trey Amos.
Just bring up the wide receivers to see who we have sitting around.
They're
here.
all way too far.
Okay. So
Torrey Horton, who EJ Savage was sold on, but I mean, we could always try. We could get crazy and try to trade up
Yeah, we
Or-
could do that.
to get back to that 132nd. But to get that 4th round, I think we got to go BPA here.
So that's Will Howard, Gunnar Helm, obviously Kobe Bryant, Riley Leonard, and Baron Sorrell would be the first guy that I would look at just position-wise.
Well, what about Jalen Rivers tackle?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind a tackle.
Not sold on. Let's see.
Better have size on him.
Okay, 6'5".
325.
We need an arm length for us to actually take him.
Yeah, Rivers is a sound technical wherever he plays, but his lack of athleticism and corresponding lack of answers for quicker rushers limits his ceiling. He's likely to fit. He
He is likely to fit. I can't
he
even
is-
do
It
it.
doesn't read right. He is
Yeah.
likely fit to serve. Okay, there we go. He's likely fit to serve as interior depth in an offense with a gap-based run scheme. Dear Lord, cut me off.
I like it. We got to get an arm length. We got to get a draft buzz. We've never looked. We're in the 4th round. We're not
Yeah.
used to these guys.
No,
So
we don't see any of these
Jalen
guys.
Rivers. Let's see what you got out of the University of Miami.
So it's
So
correct.
they got him
Miami.
6'6", 319.
So he's a bit smaller than what.
Okay, he's got good arm length.
Good arm length.
Good span.
Yep. He's got not the fastest guy out there, but that's okay. He's
Nice
got.
powerful broad.
I don't mind this pick, to be honest.
I think, honestly, for what we're looking at, it's needed, Adam. One.
Okay. Positional flexibility between guard and tackle spots, offering roster malleability and value in multiple blocking schemes.
There you
That's
go.
nice.
That's beautiful.
Subpar athleticism for a tackle prospect, potentially limiting his ability to mirror and match against speed rushers off the edge.
It's his si-
You throw him in a
Yeah,
guard.
you throw him in a guard.
Hey, we don't need him to move if he's 6'6".
319.
And his
Three-
long fucking
Yeah,
Mr. Stretch arms.
let's bring him on.
Let's get him.
Okay, welcome to the
Jalen
team.
Rivers.
Rivers, welcome to the team. We're drafting you at 118.
And that's the pick that we traded up to, or we traded up
Yep.
to get.
Or do we pick a tight end? You weren't. You don't. You're not. You neither.
I don't want
so-
Helm.
I don't want Helm
okay,
either.
Okay,
No, no,
go
no.
go.
But I do.
Well, we
wouldn't
just
be
talked about
against it.
wide receiver. Getting a formidable tight end isn't a bad idea either. Hey, Quinn Ewers right there, or Kyle McCord.
Well, this is where you could look at our draft so far, guys. Though we do need a wide receiver, and this might be
Yeah.
the place to fucking look at him. Hey,
Yeah, fuck. We kind of.
Okay, so Wells Jr., he's an Ole Miss guy. We might be able to get him on the next pick.
I got a skill.
He wouldn't be a bad pickup in the 5th.
I think taking linebacker in the first really fucks you up for getting a good wide receiver.
It does. It does.
Totally does. And I do like the fact that we looked at it and there's a couple of guys in the 3rd round that we might be able to grab, specifically since we did take two linebackers. I can't see us drafting a linebacker in the first anyways.
I think we need to go back-to-back wide receivers here and just hope one of them fucking sticks. Even though it's not going to be great for our
No, the ratings don't seem to affect as much in the 5th.
Let's BPA it. Let's see what BPA is here. Wide receiver, we're not.
Jalen Lane.
Antoine Wells Jr., that's that other Ole Miss guy.
That's what I said.
Antoine Wells Jr., I have him. Let me get my Skittle board.
I was just saying, though, I think we might be able to pick Wells Jr. on the next pick.
Yeah, I agreed. What number was he? He's that second guy on Ole Miss. That's good. Beside Trey Smith.
Yep. Trey Harris.
Sorry, guys. I'm just looking at my board to give you who I think.
Yeah, so AJ's Skittle board right now
I do hate that I don't get to see the Skittle board.
I know. There you go.
Yes. Skittle me timbers.
So the wage comp, what I'm looking at here
Body comp
is the wage J's PFF strength of schedule adjusted combine body rate.
That's the one.
And I'm just looking for the next guy on the first guy on this list who's still available.
It's
in your draft.
It's the Virginia Tech.
So there's Lane, Wells, and Thornton, and Lambert Smith.
Jalen Lane train.
Lambert Smith is the guy. Lambert Smith is the dude. He doesn't play slot. And Lane is way down here. He's still decent.
Slot percentage, though, for Lane is 84%. So
I don't want to bring in a heavy slot guy because I think it's just covering. It's too much of an overlap with what CD's going to do.
I think Wells.
I could be wrong.
I think Wells Jr. is a slot guy as well. Where's he on your list here?
Antoine Wells.
No,
Jr.
he's
no,
not.
he's low slot, but he is pretty low on the
body comp.
Just on my board. But look, I don't know how. I'm not. This is the first time I did my rating, so I'm not super confident. I'm more confident in PFF. But I would say this. This Lambert Smith, let's just look at him quick.
Okay, so yeah, okay. AJ has
6'1", 182.
This
guy performed
decent.
the best with his strength of schedule. It's all even on my metrics, but it just might not.
6'1", 182.
I'm just saying
He might die.
he could die. Well, 6'1's good.
6'1" good, but 182. That's what I mean. You're like 5'10", 185 is kind of nice.
Yeah, 6'0", 205.
See, I like the size.
Wells put an NFL level tape at South Carolina, and James Madison, but looked far from an impactful NFL player in his final year at Ole Miss. While he is worth drafting, his approach might need a total reset when he gets to the NFL.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, you can see he's downgraded.
Look at his shit downgrade.
Yeah, not great.
bad.
I mean, hey, look, Jackson Dart likes throwing to his tight end and Trey Harris.
Okay, well, we're not going to take any of these wide receivers. I think we're sold on. Fuck it. Bring on Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers, let's do it.
Let's get him.
Quinn Ewers in the 4th.
We don't know what we're doing with you, Quinn, but you're welcome.
Yeah,
you've been welcome to the team.
Now we're hopping
in the 5th. Quinn Ewers in the 5th is not bad.
Now we're hopping wide receiver, and we're just taking whatever guy we think has the best chance. Oh, God. AJ's guy's gone.
AJ's guy's gone.
Ad's guy's gone.
All of them.
All of them are gone.
I was hoping one of them fell.
Oh, sorry, Ants, you forgot to do it because Jenkins Gaming did it in the chat. Quinn Ewers. Welcome.
Hey. Oh, Efton Chisholm, we'll go for him later.
Who's this Caden Prather? We just got to take a look at him.
So Efton Chisholm and or Jimmy Horn Jr.
McDonald's? What does he work for McDonald's?
Hey, guys, Efton Chisholm III and Jimmy Horn Jr. in the later rounds, both of those back-to-back wouldn't be a bad choice, and one of them will.
Jimmy Horn Jr. is not going to get drafted.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. I disagree, but
respectfully,
guess we'll see.
Want to put a screenshot?
Okay.
Hey, Adams, Ollie Gordon.
Okay. Ollie Gordon.
Yeah,
Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon the second.
Yeah, let's double down.
I think double down instead of just stretching for a
for something
for
else.
a wide receiver.
Yep.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome
Ollie.
to the team, Ollie. Looks like
Look, this would have been way better than Quinn Ewers in the 5th, but we didn't.
Hey, debatable.
do we draft 2 quarters? I mean, Dean Clark at 211. We've picked Dean Clark before. We like Dean
We
Clark.
got to take
as
a wide
safety.
receiver. We have to
We
take.
gotta take a wide receiver.
And it's Prather. He's the highest wide receiver.
Yep.
You just have to take him. I honestly think in the next 2 guys, we just have to take out wide receiver.
6'3", 210.
He's
Prather
got
is a
size.
base.
Oh, right there.
Big body.
possession outside. Okay.
Finish
Yeah,
it. Finish it.
Sorry, Prather's a big body possession outside receiver who is underutilized in Maryland's offense. His size and decent athletic ability for NFL standards should give him a decent chance to make a roster as a day 3 X receiver.
Just take him.
You've been boozed.
We're drafting.
Yeah, Ben Boosh.
We're drafting on pure size.
Yeah.
I want to see wide receiver again here. Just see if any. Okay, these are all.
Theo Weiss.
These are
We did draft him, but
these are all guys that are going to be around at 247.
yeah, 100%.
Do we just go? Do we just go with RJ Mickens?
Safety from Clemson. Yeah. Hey, look.
Had a good
Good
year.
coverage grade. Let's look at that size. 6 foot 210.
Ooh,
That's what we like.
nice.
And the final piece of that pussy pie, if you will.
Yeah, let's get a little draft
DB him.
buzz.
DB him.
Let's get a little draft buzz on this cat. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of looks cross-eyed a little bit, but
But looks a little cross-eyed, but also looks like he's no nonsense.
Yep.
he looks like a Key and Peele character.
Yep.
Okay. His vert's the
Good
only-
vert. He can get up there.
You can jump
care
in. His
about
40's
that.
not terrible.
His arm span.
40 is not terrible.
That's
no.
this is a good spot to take a guy like this. Has good measurables. I think we just have to bring him on, fellas. RJ Mickens, welcome to the
2
team.
RJs. RJ Harvey and RJ Mickens.
The RJs.
Who gets the RJ?
RJ.
They'll have to battle it out.
What's an
Nate.
RJ? If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
What's an RJ if you have to get a fucking BJ?
Last pick, do we go with Fentanyl Cypress or
Well, we picked a top tier corner, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind double downing on cornerbacks, honestly. Get it? Because we do need slots still.
We doubled
still
up on
need a slot.
a halfback.
All right, well, here's Fentanyl Cypress.
Ooh.
See
Just
him.
kind of mid. He's just mid.
I need to see his speed.
We got to
here.
see him.
Need to see his speed here. Okay.
Oh, look at that fucking brain he's got. He's got a big brain in his head. Holy shit.
He's good at deciphering plays. He's fast. 440.
fast.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Decent vert, too.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Give
For the
me-
last pick of the. Okay, here. I'll
Last
give you
pick. Yep.
a strength. Shows fluid footwork and smooth brain transitions, allowing him to stay in phase with receivers throughout their routes. So he's doing it.
Lacks ideal play strength, which can be exploited by more physical receivers in press coverage and run support.
That's
All right.
okay.
Juice him
So
up with that
fucking
NFL juice.
AJ
Yeah.
Brown's going to be bitching him out.
Get him boosted up a little bit, and he welcome to the team.
Fentanyl. Okay. Hey,
I like
guys.
it.
I don't think it's the A+ we're hoping
No,
for.
it's probably not going to be an A+, but
Okay, so we got A- for Jihad Campbell.
Bullshit.
B
The,
for
the top linebacker in the draft at 12.
yeah, and you get an A-.
B for Trey Amos, cornerback out of Ole Miss. RJ Harvey gives us a B+.
Halfback.
Halfback.
Give position, you boner.
You stupid
Halfback.
boner.
Then we do a Zegma Beach here. We trade 2 picks. We trade we trade 2 picks, our 149 and 174 for a 118 to move into the 4th, and we get a C+ for that pick by picking up Jalen Rivers, tackle from Miami, Florida.
It was a depth pick, and O-line, just throwing another guy on O-line to try to mix in there. Why not?
What you guys got to do here too is try to take a mental shot of players we've taken and what grade they've gotten, so that if we're ever in a spot where we want to just get a grade, because you look at after the next 3 dudes, all A's and A-.
Yeah. So round 5 to the 5th and 6th round picks here did really well.
all A's.
Well, hey, Mike Tagg just showed up. He says you guys got a guy from the U, so I give it an A.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouted Mike Tagg out earlier on.
Yeah,
in
Mike
the show.
Tagg, we were talking about how you just got all of your Demarcus Lawrence gear the hell out of the cave, which we liked.
Which
Yeah,
we
we-
respect.
We're also talking about everyone signing up to that Mike Tagg OnlyFans. Love you, buddy.
Okay, so go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers. We
Quarterback.
We picked up that 4th round pick, which was honestly
5th round.
sorry. No, the 5th round pick. I'm just saying with Jalen Rivers kind of fucked us. In my mind, I was like, oh, because we'd never been there, so we're looking at guys that were different. But Quinn Ewers here in the 5th round at 171, quarterback
you hated it?
from Texas. Don't hate it, actually. I think Ewers I've always liked, but then I just hear people talking shit about it. and
It's
I'm
our
like,
highest
okay.
graded pick.
Yeah.
Then we got OG2 with an A-.
Halfback
in round
of
6.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, that's good. Yep.
And then we went back. Then we BPA'd Caden Prather, but we liked his measurables.
At what
A-.
position?
Wide receiver from Maryland. Then we picked up RJ Mickens, safety from Clemson. Also liked his measurables, B. And then Fentrell Cypress the third or the second. Fentanyl Cypress, C+ cornerback from Florida State.
They didn't like that.
B+.
B+. Fucking bullshit, but
It's a B+,
whatever.
B+. But you know what? This is not a super exciting draft pick.
No.
Draft for us. But I think in terms of solving, putting guys in a position that we need them, linebacker, we got the best one in the draft. Trey Amos, I think he was the third best cornerback in round 2. And then RJ Harvey. I mean, we need a running back. I think the running back position has just, the need has been taken down just a notch. Not a lot, but just because they signed 2 other guys who are in the NFL for that reason.
I don't, now that we've done the draft and taken a linebacker with the first pick, I don't love it.
No.
I don't like how
But we needed to do it.
we had to do it. But like for me, thinking of getting Jalen Walker in the first, I just don't like how the draft plays out. I think I'd rather take one of the top cornerbacks over a linebacker, and on top of that, I think I'd rather take one of the wide receivers over either of them.
So like,
Just to see what the wide receivers are like later on in the draft. In this version, anyways, it's like if you don't get a top wide receiver in the top 3 rounds or even the top 2 rounds, it seems like it might be a little bit slim pickings
yeah, especially without that fourth.
without that fourth. So
I kind of would have been all right if going cornerback, wide receiver, halfback, or
but there was no wide receiver in the second round. That's why we didn't go
right
wide receiver.
or wide receiver, corner, running back.
We had to go
we
linebacker.
had to go linebacker. Remember the stipulation?
No, I know,
was-
but I'm saying, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, now that we're done the linebacker exercise, like that's I don't mind that order in future drafts or if the Cowboys draft that way.
If
Not in our stipulation drafts. I'm saying.
Cowboys, I would say a linebacker in the third would probably be the best value, because otherwise you're going to end up with Jihad Campbell, which seems like a stretch, which I don't actually think he's going to be there at 12. But if you went with Jalen Walker, that would be a stretch. But if he is the dude, like we always say, man, if he's the dude, who cares about what PFF and DraftBuzz are ranking him? If you think he's the fucking guy, you bring him on and you pull his pants down and you show everyone his pecker.
You show him right to national television. All right, guys. Well, that is our mock draft 5.5. We will be back Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to talk more draft, talk more Dallas Cowboys news, and to complete our mock version 6.0, which have been a lot of fun to do. So, chat, we appreciate you guys coming out. You can find us everywhere at Cowboys Can Fan, all social media platforms. And if you know somebody that doesn't follow the Cowboys Can Fan crew, you can go ahead and tell them to go fuck themselves!
Sunday service.
The bark out.
Can get aggressive. You just
I-
hard